Hello. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Because there was a problem for the previous client, I was talking to. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Loay. I am from.
Loay. Loay. Okay, good. I'm
Yes.
Josh and I'm from Los Angeles, California. I got my degree from Berkeley, which is Northern California, but I live in Los Angeles. And I am of a mixed race. My mother is American, my dad is Indian. And so I kind of, uh, but I was born in America and I lived most of my life in California mostly. Um, so that's my story. What about you? Um, Are you in school or are you working?
Yes, I study in 12th class,
Mm-hmm. And
and this is the last year in school.
so you are in high school basically, like your last year in high school.
Yes, high school.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what you want to study in university?
Mm, I like nursing.
Mm-hmm. So you want to be a nurse? Uh,
Yes.
so actually, the title is called a nurse practitioner. For at
Okay.
least in America, that's what they use. Nurse practitioner, and did I spell it right? Yeah. And actually, a nurse practitioner has to do some medical training as well. It's not.
Yes.
It's not just.
Mm.
Yeah. It's not just being a nurse. Not just helping a doctor. Sometimes the they also they can also prescribe medication depending on what the situation is. If there's a need of diagnosis, do you know what the word diagnosis is?
No.
Okay, so when someone is sick, uh,
Mm.
the doctor comes, looks at symptoms as in different like the pulse. They look at the pulse, will feel the pulse or hear the heartbeat, with a stethoscope. uh, that's mostly for chest problems. If someone is having a problem with breathing, you know so just by
Yes.
listening to the heart, the doctor can tell you
Mm.
what is wrong. If there's an infection in your lungs, if there's many diseases. So uh, the doctor will tell you what disease it is, and that is what a diagnosis is. Diagnosis, and I can also translate this for you. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, you understand in
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I understand it.
Okay, good. Um, so but also you can just be a nurse as well. In America, there's the medical now the system is going to change. They're going to try to make. Uh, I'm hearing now that it's going to be universal healthcare. Like everyone will have healthcare, and when that
Mm.
happens, then healthcare moves from you know lone practitioners, lone doctors to hospitals, uh, because a lot more people will be on healthcare, so you will need a lot more nurses. Where there's hospitals, you need a lot of nurses, and there'll be more hospitals and more nurses. So becoming a nurse is actually a very good job title at right now, because a lot of countries are getting into universal healthcare. Like everyone should have health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why do you want to become a nurse?
Because I love helping people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, and I don't like math or physics to study engineering.
Okay. Good. So you're more a people's person. You know, you would get into either nursing or um, retail, where you have to deal with people in person, right? Retail is where, say, a shop or a coffee shop, where you have to deal with clients every day. That's a personal kind of aspect. But nursing is much more meaningful, because when people come to hospitals, they have major issues, they have problems, and your job is to problem solve in a meaningful way. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Yes. And even I was thinking about, like, when I got my major in biopsychology. It's more to do with everything that goes on with the brain. But I was thinking about getting, a degree in nursing as well, because I also like, I like the field. I like helping people. I like, it's meaningful for me. You know, my I don't teach. I don't talk. I don't. This is not my normal job. I am actually in India at the moment, uh, because my father just had a stroke, and so I basically, I'm here for 3 months just to make sure that he's okay. He's okay. He's come back from the operation, and the hospital, and his diet's fine. Everything's okay. So, but I have to be here. Uh, I'm the only son or daughter that doesn't have a family.
Mhm.
So I'm here with my dad. My mother and my father. They're not together anymore. They live different separately. So, sorry, I'm talking a lot about myself. But um, what is it like living in Syria? What part of Syria do you live in?
Mm. Now the situation in Syria is not very good
Yes, I know. I heard. Yes.
because the war.
Mm-hmm. So,
Mm.
are you close to the area of the war, or is it affecting you, like, directly?
No,
No. Lucky. Yeah. Good. Um, I don't know what to say. Wow. Syria is it's such a geopolitical area where um, everyone else is, the people there are suffering, but everyone else is just, they're just, they're trying to, it's a power play. You understand power play?
no.
Power play. It's a good word to power play. Let's see if that comes out. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, now I understand it.
Yes. So, it's a power play between America and Russia and American allies in the Middle East, and not allies. So, like, um, Iran would be not an ally, but Turkey is kind of a American ally now that Trump is in power. So I heard that they took out American soldiers, and Turkey is sending in uh, Is that true? Is that true that Turkey is sending
Uh,
um, is bombing the place?
yes, but I'm not interested into the political things,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know a lot of things about it.
Mm. Okay, good. Because it is very depressing. You don't want to think about it because, um, and if it doesn't affect you directly, you don't need to think about it. But yeah, so what is, if I can ask you some questions so that you can talk, uh, what would it be like? So what city do you live in Syria?
Can you ask me
What
again?
city do you live in Syria?
Hmm. I live in Sweden. Sweden is located in the south of Syria.
South of Syria. And is that close to the capital?
I think 3 hours by car.
Three hours by car. And so uh, in your area, there like there's in your area, is there a war going on?
No, no.
Now, no. But before there was a war.
Yes, but small war.
Was it within Syria, like civil war?
Yes, it was in Sweden, but I was in Lebanon
Oh, so you had left.
when the war
Mm.
take place.
Okay, good, good. Um, so, what is it like being back? And is it normal again? Like, is it normal?
Yes, yes, no, it's
Now
normal.
it's normal. Okay. So, okay, I'm because this is just my own interest, I've only been to UAE in the Middle East. I've never been to any other country. I've not been to Egypt. I've not been to, and even UAE was such a culture shock for me. Like coming into Dubai and coming into the custom.
Mm.
Where people, like people are, even the custom agents are wearing the full gear. Um,
Yes,
yeah, in Dubai. So it's very even Dubai, which is supposed to be kind of a uh, it's it's very traditional. The system is very traditional. Um, if I have you been out of Syria? Have you ever
what?
been out of your country, out of Syria?
In
Oh
Lebanon,
yes,
yes,
you went. Yeah.
I have traveled to
Hmm.
Lebanon.
So when you go to the airport, uh, are the are the are the custom agents or people that check you, are they in the full Muslim garb or are they in civil clothes in Syria?
I go to Lebanon by car, not by
Oh, okay,
land.
okay. Yeah, because what was a culture shock for me when I went to UAE, when I went to Dubai, was that if you come to India, if you come to India or if you go to America, you go any other country, uh, if you go to the airport, everyone is wearing a civil dress. You know, uh, there's there is no there's a distinction between um, religion and politics. Yeah, but
Yes,
but
that's
in the
right.
Middle East, when you go to an airport, you are greeted by uh, uh, um, custom agent You're greeted by a custom agent that is fully dressed in the full garb, you know, like the full long dress that they wear. And that was kind of a culture shock for me because, uh, you know, especially Dubai, you know, I thought that Dubai would be, because they're kind of, you know, a shocking place. A lot of Americans go there and all that. But I was kind of surprised that, you know, they still wear the traditional full gear, like a traditional dress, you know, and yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that uh, it is okay for the state and religion to be same?
Mm. I think no.
You think that they should be separate? Yes.
Yes.
Good. Um, uh, yeah. Most democracies, they always have the state that's different. You know, you can practice your religion with all the freedom, but when it comes to state-owned, you know, properties like airports, universities, you know, then, you know, religion has to
Mm.
be separated, you know, from state, you know, and that is a very, very important aspect of democracy, quote unquote. Even America is not a
Mm.
democracy, you know, it's not. Nowhere there's democracy, but there's levels of freedom, you know. In America, also, the rich
Mm.
people rule, you know. There's big difference between the poor and the rich. Big, big difference. It's becoming more big, increasing inequality. Yeah, inequality. Yeah,
Yes.
economic inequality. You know, and it's a big problem
Mm.
for the middle class. So, do you have any questions for me? Like, do you want to work on a lesson, or do you just want to have a conversation?
I just want to have a
Okay,
conversation.
cool. So, can I? Do you want to ask some questions, or can I ask you some questions? I will make it more not personal questions, just general questions, and then I want you to talk because that's why you're here. It's you know.
You can ask me a question.
Okay, so uh, in high school or in school in general, what was your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is science.
Is
Science.
silence.
Science.
Science. Okay, what kind of science?
Yes.
Like biology, physics, or what kind of science? Can you be
About the human's body. I think it's
biology?
biology in
Yes,
English.
exactly. Yeah, so there is biology and then there's anatomy. There's two things. Uh, biology and then there's anatomy. Anatomy. Yeah, all right, both.
Yes.
So they are similar, but they are different. One is how the inner part works, you know, how the organs work. That's biology. How your liver works, how your kidneys work, how your heart works,
Yes.
how your brain works. That's all part of biology. Anatomy is just uh, the structure, the bone structure, the muscle structure, tendon
Mm.
structure. So anatomy is just like drawing, you know, your body from inside out,
Yes.
while biology is studying how the organs work, how the body works. Yeah?
Mm.
Anatomy. So these are two words you can use: biology and anatomy.
Okay.
Okay. So uh, if you had a choice, if you had a choice, what country would you want to visit?
Mm. I like to visit
You
America.
would like to visit America. Do you have any specific part of America you would like to visit?
No.
Anywhere would work. Mm.
Mm. And I like to work in America.
Mm. And do you think that is that your plan eventually to work in America?
Maybe,
Mm.
maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at least from my experience, you are um, in the right direction when you if you choose nursing. Yes, and if you're good at nursing, America will need a lot of nurses now because they're finally getting universal health care, like I told you earlier. Uh, and
Mm.
when that happens, it becomes a national health system. Yeah. And when it becomes a national health system, there's less doctors, there's need of less doctors, more need of nurses. There'll be far more hospitals.
Mm.
Yeah. Because that's how people will be treated, you know. Um, okay. Do you have any hobbies that you do? Uh, like sports, reading, or um, some television, video games, TV shows?
I like watching movies.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a specific type of movie you like watching? Like
Yes, romantic movies.
romantic movies? And do you watch? Do they have a like? Do they have a good local like Syrian movies? Do they have like India has its very big Bollywood. Like it produces
Yes, I
so
know.
many movies.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
movies.
So does Syria produce its own movies?
There's an Arabic
Mm-hmm.
movies.
But is it produced in Syria? Like made in
No, for example, between Syria and Lebanon, or Syria or Egypt or something
okay.
like that.
And so do you watch all of them? Do you watch like Hollywood, Bollywood, Syrian, like Arabic?
Actually, I don't like Indian movies,
Yes, they're very funny. They're more like musicals.
and I don't like Arabic movies
You
also.
don't. Uh, yes, I
No.
agree with you in the sense that the production value is very low compared to
Mm.
Hollywood. What they produce is much more. The production value is much higher in when it comes to
Mm.
they've been doing it for much longer period of time. Hollywood has been making movies, making TV series for a much longer period than any other country has. So their production value is much higher. Yeah. What are some of your? Can you name a couple of movies that you like?
Uh, Allied, Allied,
I, what was that? Sorry, again.
Allied.
Is that Hollywood movie?
Yes, ALLIEED, I think. Yes,
Oh, Allied. Yeah, like that. Allied.
yes.
And who's? Do you know the star in the movie?
No,
No. So is it about like the Allied forces against the Nazis?
it's a mix. It's mix between action and
Romance.
a love story,
Mm,
sad love story.
mm. Wow. It's amazing because I watch movies also. And I have never like uh I probably did watch this. I don't know. I oh wow. It's Brad Pitt. That's quite amazing. I have never watched it. Okay, Allied, and it probably is. So, Allied means Allied forces. When the Nazis were conquering, when Hitler was conquering Europe, going from one city to the next city, uh, countries like England, America, and French, they were like allied forces. They came together to fight the Nazis. And even then, first it was French and English. America didn't want to come in between. But then Churchill, England Prime Minister, he basically was like, "Look, you guys have to come in, otherwise, you know, they will be at your doorstep. That means that Germany will be at your doorstep, fighting you guys." So then the Americans came in, and that's how they formed the Allied forces. So allied just means combination of yes,
Yes.
combination of forces that helped defeat the Nazis in Germany. Eventually, they lost, obviously, in Russia because they were trying to beat Russia in Russia, which is crazy. Hitler went crazy at one point. But it's amazing. I have not seen this movie. Can you tell me something about this movie?
This movie has a very sad sequel.
A sad ending, are you saying?
Yes, sad ending.
Okay. As sad as in the romance part of it, or in general?
Yes. Uh, the woman mm, will die in the end of the movie.
And okay, so yeah, I've heard of this movie, but I just never watched it. It's quite amazing because I usually watch uh, I watch quite a lot of movies. For someone, I love movies. I more than nowadays not that much, but I was a movie fanatic, like a movie fanatic. Fanatic is a word. It just means enthusiast. I'll translate this for you. Fanatic. It's someone who
Hmm.
is obsessed. Kind of, I find passionate about movies, good movies. Yeah, yeah. Allied looks
Mhm.
like a very good movie. Brad Pitt is a good actor, and other girls, she's also very good. The lady is also a good actress. So
I also like horror
you
movies.
do. Have you seen
Hmm.
Joker?
Joker, no,
Oh, you have to
not yet.
watch Joker. It's not a horror film as much as it is actually a horror film. It is a real horror film, not like the normal. It's you see, there's horror film, where there's a lot of killing and all that, like Saw, the Saw series. Have you seen? Yeah.
Yes, I know it.
Uh, there's that kind of horror, which is not real life, and then there's real life horror, and Joker comes into real life horror. It's kind of how it's a very good movie, well acted. It's why I like movies. this kind of movie is why I like movies. It is about life. It's about how this person, a good man, whose mother told him that your goal in life is to make people happy, to make people smile, to make people, that is your goal in life. And that's why he became a joker. This is in the 80s. And many things happened to him in his life. Many bad things happened to him. And then he becomes the villain, the Joker for
Mm.
Batman.
The bad
Yeah, the
bad
bad person
version.
for the villain of Batman series. You saw? Did you see? Yeah,
Yes, I know it.
the Dark Knight, the movie, the Dark Knight, the Batman movie, the second one, the Dark Knight.
Mm.
It's about Batman, and the villain is the Joker. So this movie is about how it is not. This movie is, it should be about like that comic book villain, but actually it is about real life. This guy made a movie. Uh, you can see this happening to you. You know, you can see this happening to anybody good, that can become from good to really bad. And so basically, it is supposed to be an origin story for this villain that becomes really bad, starts killing everyone in Gotham City. But this guy made this movie so realistic that it becomes kind of everybody, like it becomes a human condition. A human condition, they call it. Um, yeah, so it becomes about how a lot of people, uh, because of this small accumulation of bad things in their life, some bad people coming
Mm.
into their life, and how it changes the person that you are, and it is very realistic, and I really recommend you watch Joker. Yeah, very good movie. Um, for also there's not much dialogue. There's some dialogue, but there's not much. It's mostly the main guy acting. Um, so for your English also, it'll be pretty good. You might not even need subtitles. You can watch it without the subtitles. Try to see if you understand without subtitles. When you go to
Okay.
theater in Syria, uh, do they show Hollywood movies in English, or do they dub them into Arabic language?
Yes, there's a subtitle to Arabic.
Okay, but it's still in English. Good.
Yes.
Here, when as most of the times when they have Hollywood movies in India, sometimes they dub the film. That means that it goes from English to the local language, which is Hindi, and that is so bad.
Mm.
It ruins the whole movie. Completely ruins the movie. So they call it dubbing when they put another language on superimpose another language
Yes.
on a movie. Yeah. Um, so nursing. You said you wanna get into nursing. Uh, do you have you ever had any experience going to either a hospital or old people's home? Like, do you have old people's home in Syria? nursing homes.
Yes.
You have. Have you been to a nursing home?
Do you mean
No, no,
I'm the
no.
nurse?
Just well, yeah. I went to a nursing home. I went as a volunteer. Volunteer.
Hmm.
Just for 2 days, just to see what it is like to work with old people as a volunteer. And because a friend of mine was working there, and she said that many people volunteer to do work here, and it is quite an amazing. It's quite an experience. It may not be amazing, but it's quite an experience to at least work volunteer for 2 days, and it was quite a experience for me to volunteer in a nursing home because you have to do quite a lot. If you are working there, you it's almost like you're taking care of a old baby
Hmm.
or a old man, but they can't, because of their condition, because of their disease, whatever it is, their age,
Hmm.
they can't take care of themselves. So you have to bring them food, you have to do clean them, you have to do everything. And I didn't have to clean them, but I experienced bringing them food, talking to them, playing games like chess with them and all that. Because I was a volunteer, I was not getting paid to work there. But it's
Yeah.
just talking to them is very interesting because they're all very old. They're like 70 and above, nursing home. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, if you want to become a nurse, I think that it would be a very good idea to volunteer at a nursing home somewhere near where you live, if there is one. A home for older people. That's what they call nursing home.
Yes.
Um, so, do you want to? I think that maybe a lesson right now would be a good idea because I want you to. Uh, do you read and write English well? You can
Yes.
read and write pretty well, yeah. Okay, so let's do one
Hmm.
small one and let's see how you uh, enjoy if you enjoy this or not because I think that you should speak more. I'm doing too much of the talking. Um, so these are conversation starters, something that will you can help questions that help in starting to talk to someone. If you want to talk to someone, these questions you use to start. So if you click on this, can you click on it? Uh, so it should come to a page that says 250 conversation starters. Do you see that? Okay.
Yes.
Can you click on that 250 conversation starters?
There's a text here.
Yes. And then just go down, and uh,
Hmm.
it comes to random conversation starters. Do you read that?
About history and the holiday.
Oh, no. It should be 250 conversation starters. Do you see that?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. And do you see number one?
Yes, what is the name of the many people
Wh-
about Hillary?
Sorry.
Number one is a question.
Yeah, number one question. What was the last funny video you saw? That's what I see. What do you see? Okay, forget about this because you're seeing a different page than what I'm seeing. Did you go to 250? Okay, forget about it. I mean, having a conversation is much better. So, um, uh, if you your name is loay. What is your name again? Sorry,
Yes,
loay
Loay. Yes,
loay loay
in Arabic, Loay.
loay. And what does loay
Yes,
mean? Does it have a meaning?
yes, I've read about it. I've read. Uh, it means a power
It
in
means
Arabic.
what? Power
Power.
in Arabic.
Yes,
Loay loay loay. Am I saying it right? Loay loay.
yes.
Okay, power loay. That's a very beautiful name. Um, okay, so uh, I want to ask you something where you can have a long conversation. Like you can have a you can talk. Um, when you like in high school, um, in where you go to high school, do you is your high school really close to your home, or do you go on a bus, or do you drive a motorbike, or do you drive a cycle? Like, how do you get from home to your high school?
I go there by
You go
bus.
there by bus.
Mm.
Is high school like high school in America, where there is always a competition going on between the jocks? Like the high school jocks. They're like the super athletic, like sports
Mm.
and the nerds. There's in high school there are
Yes,
jocks and nerds. This is just a colloquial. So jocks are the athletic type. They in America they play American football, uh, basketball. And the nerds are more like they're into science. They're into reading, writing, and they're
yes,
like nerdy. Yeah. So do they have the same kind of dynamic in high school? In in your high school?
yes,
Yeah.
of
And
course.
what is the local sport? Like
The local sport here is
football,
football.
like soccer. Well, football. Yeah, because that's actually football. We have American football, which is different. The one that they they throw.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
In America, we call football soccer, which is really dumb because it is football. And so
Mm.
that's the local sport in Syria. Does Syria have a local uh, like uh, local league for football, a football league? Like they have in English Premier League, they have Spanish league, the Bundesliga. Do you ever follow football? No.
Actually, I don't like
Sports. You don't like
football.
football?
Mm.
Um, I kind of like that's the only sport I like is football. I don't like American football. I don't like basketball that much. I because football is such a universal. Everyone plays football. It's so yeah. I kind of follow it sometimes. That's the only um, sport that I like. So and uh, do you like? Do you have any troubles apart from school? Like, do you have any? Is it okay? Like in India, for example, uh,
mm,
it's not good to go out like past 11 p.m. If you in the neighborhood that I live in, like my father lives in, after 11 p.m. you don't want to go out. How about your neighborhood? Can you go out any time of the night? No
yes.
problem.
I don't live in city.
Okay. You don't live in a city.
I live in a small village.
Oh, wow. That's so you can always go out, no problem. A small Everyone knows everyone. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, my father lives in a big city here in, it's a lot of people. And that's the problem is that in cities now, after 11 o'clock, everything closes down, and then you going out becomes kind of dangerous because a lot of people come to the city to find work, and many people don't get work in the city, and so you'll find homeless people. You'll find this is also in America. It's also a big problem in America is if you live in the city, you'll find a lot of homeless people that come from uh, you know inner like that come from the suburbs that like outside the city area, and
Yes.
they want to find a job but they can't find a job, so they end up either homeless or they end up in the shelter. And many of them are America is more dangerous actually. India, you might get mugged, they might steal something from you, but they will not no one has guns here. In America there's a big culture, like a lot of people have guns. And so in big cities especially, it's quite dangerous to go out after, unless you're going with your friends. That's a different thing. If you're going with a whole bunch of friends, if you're going to the pub or if you're going to a local bar or uh, you know uh, then it's not a big problem. But you're going with friends, uh,
Mm,
in India here, is such a big city, and I feel like it is getting worse and worse. More people come into the city, and the situation gets worse because not everyone can get a job. Not everyone, and in India, I feel really bad for the people who don't get a job because they literally are homeless. And being homeless in India is much worse than being homeless in America, because at least in America, if you're homeless, you can go get food at the shelter. There are shelters that people you can go and they can get food. They give out food. In India, there's nothing like that. And that's
that's
very
sad.
sad. Yes, a lot of people die out of hunger, or a lot of people actually die because of the heat in the summertime. You know, uh, homeless people. Uh,
Mm,
not a lot, but not even one person should die out of heat or starvation. In India, no one even keeps count. There's so many people here. So that's a problem. So do you like your village? Like, do you like everyone that you get along with everyone?
yes, and uh, there isn't There aren't a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
here.
So do you know everyone personally?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Um, yeah, in LA, like I have a couple of friends from school and a couple of friends from my high school that I went to, and we stick together. Um, we have different jobs though. Like I work for the postal service there. It's a very big. It's a uh, federal thing. The postal service,
Yes.
and so I worked for their reroute department. And, sometimes the letters don't go to the right place. They come to our department, and we kind of reroute them to the right place. That's my department that I work at. Um, yeah. So if you, one of the things I would recommend for you is to, um, you know, apart from Cambly, if you can uh, can you get onto YouTube? Can you get onto the internet easily? You can.
Yes,
So
I
yeah,
can.
try to find a few. You can find on YouTube. You can find a few videos that that will force you to talk. That will force you to have a
Mm.
conversation with them. It's not.
In my
Yeah.
life, I am shy, so I don't speak
Mhm.
much English and Arabic also.
You don't speak much in general. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, so there are a couple of videos. I will send you links because I can write to you. I will send you some links to some YouTube videos that you can, they will ask you some questions and you can just have a conversation with them. Like
yes,
uh, they will teach you, and then they will. It's like you can. I'll just send you the links and you will know what to do. It's basically a conversation starter. Learn how to, they'll ask you questions and then you answer them, and then you can compare your answer to the answer that they give, and that's a very good place to start. And I really think that you need to lose a little bit of the shyness. You make mistakes, no problem, but you got to talk. You have to keep talking,
yes,
otherwise
yes, that's right.
otherwise it's going to be hard. um, so I'll send you some links, not only YouTube, but I'll send you some links to for a good conversation starter. You can read, okay, right? Reading and writing, yeah,
Yes, I
good.
can.
I'll send you some links and you can do it on your own. You can begin talking on your own, and obviously you can keep talking on Cambly. I am not, I'm not a professional teacher. I wish I was a professional teacher. Um,
You are a professional teacher,
I'm
yes.
not actually. I teach young kids, small kids, but the curriculum is given by the company. So I kind of I only have like half an hour, and I have even the curriculum is not mine. It's given by the company, and I just basically yes, you have to learn something, about expressing yourself, about
Mm.
repeat about. Can you repeat after me? Can I hear you say again? With little kids. But when I come to Cambly, it's mostly I ask. I usually get people who want to just talk to you, and so what I do is I questions, and in general they just keep going on and on and on, and I just sit down and then they ask for kind of feedback, like where do you think that I can improve? and then I try to give them some feedback where, sentence structure, the fluid nature of your speech. When you practice a lot, then you don't have to think when you talk. It becomes second nature.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes second nature. Yeah.
But I have been studying in Busso application in Google Play for 2 years.
Uh-huh. And do you actually have a conversation on your own?
Not a conversation, but like a small homework and the last of the lessons.
Uh-huh. Okay. And is there a lot of writing involved
Yes, you can do this homework writing or
or
speaking.
speaking? Yeah. Good. Good. So yeah. Keep doing that, obviously, and I really there's no when it comes to language, there is no substitute for practice. And the more you practice, the more you become confident, the more you speak, and the more you speak, the better
Yes,
you become. And there's no substitute for that. So you have to lose your shyness. It's fine if you make mistakes. It doesn't matter. I will. Anyone can help you out, but you have to like you know be able to express yourself. And for you, like you said, even in Arabic, you don't talk much. So it's kind of you have to get out of your little shell a bit to talk. And so um, we have 3 minutes left. I recommend. I'm going to give you some suggestions. Yeah. Uh, Keep doing what you do with that Google application that you're doing. Also on Google, you can expand your vocabulary. So if you you like movies, right? When you watch a movie,
yes,
if there's a sentence you don't understand, just write the whole sentence down. And then in the sentence, each word that you don't understand, you can look it up on Google. You can hear the pronunciation on Google and try to use that in the sentence again. Try
yes,
5 to 10 words every day. If you can do 5 words a day, my God, your vocabulary will become so and it's very easy actually if you just put in the effort. If you put in the effort, it's actually very easy
yes.
to expand your vocabulary. Yeah. And then the last thing I would suggest is um, you already you know it's all when you talk, it's not only a matter of language, it's also a matter of speech. And in you I can see
Yes.
in you I can see that there is you are an introvert. You're kind of you were like me, when I was probably your age. I don't know. I also didn't talk much till I was like 15 years old. You can look at uh, yeah.
Introvert.
I don't know if this does that make sense. Yeah,
Yes, no, I
yeah.
know it.
So yeah, in order to learn a language, you have to make an effort to not only just learn the language, but also speech. Is some people don't like to talk. You have to make an effort to talk as well. So you can
Okay.
start that with Arabic, and then take that to
Mm,
English, because talking is
yes,
involving speech and language. And I really, really think you already understand. Your understanding is really good. Your reading, writing is really good, and what you're doing is perfect. but try to get out of your shell and talk.